that's the end of the row. And this is the last row at this side. And straighten the wheel. But then again, 400,000 for a harvester, an extra 15,000, it's GPS, I guess. Okay, so we are going to fill this one. Where on earth am I parked? Oh, we emptied on the headland. Okay, so 20,000, 22.5. Said we'll get this emptied. I think we'll stay in the tractor just to see how much we have, and then we'll math out the difference, top off the do sufficient in the harvester that I don't end up having to catch the unload. Then we'll make the decision whether I'm going to the store or not. So that's 21,140. I need 360, 1,360. Okay. Drop that, and off we go. Do not touch the wheel. So 1,360. That's the 300. Well, I might actually have to start another row. Oh, didn't clear it by the end of the row. Now, it's entirely possible 1,360 is too much, but if I do a cut in here, which I've got the capacity to do, I'm not going to be able to unload until I turn around at the other end and come back. So I'm just going to do this edge because it just makes things so much easier. So 1,360, go. 2, 360, come get it. $22,508. Nice. Okay, so everything else on this field is ours, and hopefully fits in our tractor, which can haul 20,250. Stick this over here. Now I will say one of the unfortunate things about that cart is it doesn't have a lid, a tarp. So transporting grains in the rain is probably not something you want to do with it. Our West trailer did have a tarpaulin, so we could put stuff in it, cover it over, and deal with it later. Okay, so 3 more rows, possibly. This is 1, 2, and 3. So because the angle on the left hand side, I'm really not sure we're going to get 3 rows on our left. And then we didn't do a check on what the fields look like. So what did we do? We did 85. Farmland 85 plus 10% yield. We did 100, 113 yield. And we're doing 34, which is 98% yield. So this field, this field has I'm expecting it to have a closer to required for the contract, but I really haven't. I've been watching the numbers, but I haven't entirely figured it all out yet. Go. So I might have to start doing single contracts and making notes of, okay, how much more product do we get? It definitely doesn't matter if you do a field with bad soil, you still get sufficient to complete the contract from it. So grass is just screwed up, and hopefully the 1.7 patch will fix the grass field yield so that we can do baling contracts and not have to shenanigan additional bales in order to get paid for doing the contract. Now, I remember someone last week said they set yields to doubled when they're doing baling contracts, which obviously is an option, but not one I'm really... The problem is you have to turn the mod off and on mid-game, and obviously doing this sort of thing doesn't really work well for that. And I do have another. I prefer soda out of bottles. They take me. That's the problem. Yeah. The whole environmentally friendly thing. When I was a kid, drinks came in glass bottles, and you reused them. With milk, you gave them back to the milkman, and he took them back to the dairy, and they cleaned the bottles and refilled them, reused them. But these days, stuff comes in plastic or aluminum, and unfortunately it tastes plasticky or aluminum-y, or metallic. It tastes plasticky or metallic, so it sort of detracts from the flavour of what you're drinking. But nobody uses glass anymore, except for windows. That, and I'm not sure kids these days would respect glass bottles. I remember, even as a kid, there were people would break glass bottles, and even beer came in glass bottles. No, I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I need the caffeine. I got chewed up by insects on Wednesday when we did the visit with Teenage Osa's young sister. So I'm doped up to the eyeballs on Benadryl to reduce the itchiness, because I'm just covered. And putting cream on the bites is, I always miss one, and then you're sat there itching like crazy and I can't see them all. So just downing a few Benadryls alleviates the itch, at least for me. So, but Benadryl puts me to sleep. So, yay, competing drugs. Take Benadryl for the itch and caffeine for the stay awake. And all of my usual Saturday morning beverages, I do have extra strong English tea. And we've drunk through that already as well. I'm not actually a fan of Guinness. My mum used to love Guinness. Back in the days when their tagline was Guinness is good for you. And then the government got a little bit upset with that particular tagline because you can't tell people an alcoholic drink is good for them. So they then started a campaign of, don't be Guinness, because whatever. But as soon as my mum stopped going out, she used to go to lunch with one of her friends quite frequently. And she used to have a Guinness with a pub lunch. And the friend moved away, so she stopped going to the pub because she's not really a social drinker. It was just going out for a meal, and in the UK, pubs do some awesome food. So, she wouldn't go to the pub just to get an alcoholic beverage. She went to the pub to have lunch and, have an alcoholic beverage while you're there, type of thing. So, yeah. But her drink of choice was Guinness, and a couple of years after the friend moved away, obviously she'd stopped drinking Guinness, and at that point her blood iron levels just dropped, so she had to start taking an iron supplement. Okay, we will fold that up, we will jump into this. And take this back to the store, I guess. But my alcoholic beverage of choice is usually cider. Not super dry, definitely not sweet cider, but I prefer a dry cider, but not arid. I have had one cider that was so dry it sucked the moisture out of your tongue. Sort of, that's too dry. And I've had sweet ciders which I couldn't drink too many because they just made me feel sick. But a good dry cider. But again, I'm not someone who goes down to the pub to have a drink, so I don't generally drink. My wife doesn't drink. So, the nearest I get to alcohol is when we do go to a restaurant that also has a liquor license, but generally for those, I'm the driver, so I don't get to drink anyway. So, I haven't drunk alcohol for about 10 years, I would guess. And I think the last time was when we went to a restaurant that had a liquor license and we were doing someone's retirement party there. And as I said, that was about 10 years ago. Alrighty, let's get this dumped. Hopefully, we will get credit for all the Contract's complete. Okay, good job I'm not tipping it on the floor. And contract on field 85 complete, 330 harvest income, and we can complete that one. That's the one with the least cost. Complete that one. We are done harvesting. Let's go find our tractor. Oh, hi tractor. So there's another 10,000 litres of barley for our grain store. And we are nicely up to 74,000 in the bank. Oh, the other thing we could consider doing is possibly extending the booms on the sprayer and putting the spot spray sensors on it. That would be an and or, not doing all at the same time. Because if we can get that done, we could spray for weeds and increase the environmental score that we're currently running. I did notice there's a video up on YouTube, I think it went up yesterday or early today, on should environmental score be part of Farming Simulator 22, Precision Farming. And I haven't had a time to watch that, so that's kind of a thing. I'm probably going to take a look at that sometime. Okay, I'm going to stick this in this shed behind us. Our trailers do look very tired. Both the bale trailer and this one, and the West trailer before it, were all used, very well used, and very poor paintwork. There now. I guess I should select the tipper in order to drop it off. So yeah, that looks good. But you look at the paint on this, and then this one, not much better. But they do what they're designed to do. Haul things around. Okay, I think that's good. As I said, we've sold the tomatoes, so we've already had one pallet spawn. The tractor looks 69%. That's good enough for now. Park this in the workshop. And while I've got one tractor, this is sufficient as a parking spot. Should I turn the engine off before we leave it for the night? There we go. And that's down. So yeah, that's our direct drill seeder, but comes with a double model. This one. And that gives you, it's basically two of the same unit plus an attacher that links them, so that you can seed double the width. Needs 170 horsepower, not a problem for us. And I think with seed you can add fertilizer. So it's 4,052 seed, or a little bit more with the fertilizer. But that amount of fertilizer, I guess, well, it depends what you're planting. But I might upgrade that. It's 40,000, so not now. Anyway, let's get back to... We check the cows. The cows are doing good. Let's get back to the house. We'll sleep for the night. And we'll see what tomorrow... Well, tomorrow we'll bring selling the bales after lunch. And seeding canola in this field. I'm guessing that we're going to get a second stage of weeds in there. We had a first stage of weeds after harvest, and because I mulched the field, that destroyed the weeds, but I don't think it resets them. So the weeds, the field has small weeds at the moment, and if we plant, then that will destroy the weeds, but we will have bigger weeds. So that might be a bad thing. Let's turn the engine off there too. And I might need to spray it. Jeez. Okay. We sleep till 7. Overnight rain, £600 of payments. Is it still raining? No. Yeah, we have weeds back in this field and they might be medium. Nope, they're still small. Okay, so we could plant this. And keep an eye on the weeds. But I don't think planting destroys the weeds, it just makes them invisible. And then we have to, when they come back, they'll be medium, and we will have to use a hoe for getting rid of them. But we don't own a mechanical weeder right at the moment. All we own is the sprayer, and obviously the sprayer without the spot and spray, sea spray, spray with vision, I don't know. Without the magic words on it, will give you a bad environmental score. And right, there we go. So we are here. This should be about 90 odd %. 93, good guess. This might be empty. Yeah. And we should have seeds in that thing over there, so... Oh, how's about we look in the store? Oh, they've still got the TerraTrack. I dump bucket for a thing. 4,000 litres. Possibly a telehandler, so nothing we can use. Then we've got the MF. That's an 8S? Woo! 116. That's cheaper than that one. But that's 355 horse, that's only 205. I was kind of looking for a smaller tractor than an 8S. Although again, an 8S would be a good late farm tractor. And again, can't raise the forks until you turn the engine on. Alright, there we go. So yeah, no seed in this. I want to select... Okay, that's a good selection button. Right, canola. And over here is our seed store, which should have something inside it. Open the lid. Oh. Oh. Oh, there we go. And fill. Oh, is that it? I think I've added the Malo onto this game save. Of course, they're under this. No, I haven't. Oh. I think I've downloaded it, I just haven't added it to the game save. Well, there's that. Buying seeds here is not the most economical way of doing it. 2,000 seeds is probably sufficient for now. So they charge a delivery fee for seeds. They don't charge a delivery fee for fertilizer or solid or liquid. That's done, and close the lid. And again, part of the problem with this is the width. I think technically we are too wide legally to drive in the road. Which is why I want to open up access to the yard in that bottom corner there. So, lower that, turn it on. Oh, you don't turn that one on, yeah. Or do you? No, yes, no. Yes, you do. Okay. So yeah, someone was saying something the other day on their YouTube video, and I get the feeling that the reason that no-till seeders are beneficial to your environmental score is due to the amount of fuel that the tractor, that you're using to plant the field. So if you're running a cultivator, you have to run over the field twice. Once to cultivate and then once to plant. So that's bad for the environment because you're doing two jobs with the tractor. So the fewer things you need to do is, the better it is for your environmental score. And again, we'll lift it up as we, keeps catching on something. And again, I think having GPS on on at least some of our tractors will be a good thing. Since this is set up for spraying, this might end up being our field care tractor with GPS on it. Any smaller tractor we get probably won't need it. I don't know. But that's a good question. Or even the LPG tractors.